Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Paris and Hope face off, Douglas' soon-to-be stepmother fights back. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that Hope Logan will be thrown for a circle once Paris Buckingham is revealed to be the new woman in Thomas Forrester's life. The fact that Thomas moved on so snappily will be hard for Hope to accept, especially when she spots the gorgeous ring on Paris' cutlet. Hope had her chance to become Thomas' fiancée, but she wasn't ready for that position of commitment. Now that Thomas has moved on and supposedly popped the question to Paris, Hope is bound to spin out a bit. Of course, there's another subcast to all this involving Douglas Forrester that can't be ignored. Ever since Caroline Spencer passed away, Hope has been Douglas' main mama figure. Hope espoused Douglas, so he's her son in every way that counts. That's why Hope's inescapably going to feel hovered over Paris moving by on her motherly home. Still, also she'll come Douglas' mammy if Paris and Thomas' marriage actually happens. That reality could prove delicate for Hope, so she seems poised to face off with Paris and express dubitation about Thomas' whirlwind love. Between Hope's covetousness over Thomas and her fears about losing her mama-son bond with Douglas, there'll be good reasons for her to have some showdowns with Paris. You can go. Paris will fight back and defend the connection she's set up with Thomas. Paris may also argue that Douglas is a great sprat who's easy to adore and act like Hope should drink a little further love in his life. Nonetheless, Hope may make a vaticination about Thomas' love with Paris falling piecemeal since they got together so presto. Still, he could get his heart broken, and that's commodity Hope could be cautious of if Douglas gets too attached to Paris. Once Hope gets updates on Thomas and Paris engagement news, the drama is sure to erupt on B&B. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Hope will put Paris through a grilling session, but Paris will hold her own and defend herself against any review. Thomas and Douglas return, and Sheila threatens Tom, who has a connection to. Moment on the Bold and the Beautiful, Ridge questions Brooke and Hope about their discussion. Sheila confronts Tom while holding a cutter, and Poppy and Tom cinch eyes. In the design office at Forrester Creations, Hope works on some dresses for her line. Brooke comes by and gasps, "Wow!" She complains Hope beating her in isn't a good look for the newest member of the superintendent. She wants to finish talking to her about Finn. She's concerned she may not be suitable to fight those passions. Hope says she has to, but explains that it goes deeper than in Magnet. It's a fellowship. One she doesn't want to ruin, so she'll handle it. Ridge walks in as they clinch and asks, "What's going on then?" Brooke directs Ridge's attention to the dresses. He has a suggestion, but Hope assures him she's formerly told them to acclimate the length. Ridge still feels like he walked by on commodity and asks if it's about Steffi. Hope admits she's been floundering with commodity, but it has nothing to do with whatever he's allowing it is. Ridge asks again if it has to do with Steffi. Hope says she's felt lost since Thomas and Douglas left and her passions have been each over the place. She doesn't want to get into it, but it wouldn't affect her work. Ridge is glad she has her mama to lean on, but tells Hope that she can talk to him too. He's not sure what happened between her and Thomas, but his boy loved her veritably much. They go over Hope not being ready to connect. Ridge noticed she's not been feeling well, and it started when Thomas left, so he allowed. She might have regrets. Hope recaps that it didn't feel right to accept an offer she wasn't ready for. She gets teary-eyed and stressed out. Brooke rubs her reverse. Hope admits she's been floundering further than people realize. Ridge asks if she's reconsidering. Hope's still not ready for marriage, but when she is, at least she'll have known what it was like to be with someone who only has eyes for her. She'll no way settle for lower than that ever again. Torsten K., Catherine Kelly Lang, Annika Noel at Il Giardino. Sheila listens as Tom apologizes to Deacon if he surpassed by coming at him with all that stuff about Sheila. He really cares about him and wants to repay his kindness by remonstrating, but there. That's why he started looking on the internet and discovered Sheila has a various history to say the least. Cleric notices Sheila and tells him this is a discussion for another time. He sends him off to the cleaning closet to stock inventories. Sheila joins Deacon and asks how he's liking his new hand. Cleric spots Bill and Poppy and says he's a lot more affable than some of the guests. Sheila looks over and groans. She doesn't want Bill in her section. Deacon says he'll handle this and walks over to ask if they've a reservation. Poppy says, "No Zawa, party of 2. Bill asks to be seated anywhere but in the Sanguine Maniacs section. Once seated, Cleric takes Bill and Poppy's coffee order before walking off. Poppy enthuses about this life she suddenly has. He converted her life and their sons. Poppy hopes he knows how happy she is. Bill leers that she made that enough clear this morning. Poppy says she still has a ways to go to show him how thankful she's in that department. Bill jokes, "Check please." He tells her she's converted his life as well, by giving him a son. "I do'n't have the words. I really do'n't." "A son?" Poppy smiles. Further, is Taylor coming home? In the kitchen, Cleric and Tom phenomenon that the toe hors d'oeuvres have come so popular. Sheila walks in as Tom remarks that cutting off a toe doesn't feel like commodity a mentally stable person would do. Cleric takes off to answer a call and Sheila turns to Tom with a cutter in her hand. "Are you serious? Stability?" Tom looks nervously at the cutter. We cut to marketable and also Sheila is no longer holding the cutter. She hands Tom his ewer of water and tells him they appreciate him and he's well liked. "You wouldn't want to do or say anything to change that, would you?" Tom shakes his head. Cleric calls to Tom from the doorway and he tells Sheila, "Duty calls." At Bill's table, Poppy is showing him prints of Luna when she was youngish at a community pool. They joke about their son having a couple of pools now. Tom appears with the water flagon and tumbles on Poppy. Tom and Poppy cinch eyes and paws, as though they fate each other. Once Tom walks off, Bill asks Poppy, who has a away look in her eye, if she's still with him. She snaps out of it, says she's right there, and kisses him. In the kitchen, Tom peers out at Poppy and Bill. Sheila corners him and tells him anyhow of what he read on the internet. There are 2 sides of every story, however, it's her side he needs to be on, if he wants to survive around there. Tom doesn't want to get off on the wrong bottom with her. Sheila warns him not to bad-mouth her to her hubby ever again. Her history stays in the history. "It's none of your business, you got me," Tom says of course, and also goes back to looking at Poppy, who looks right back at him. In the design office, Ridge tells Brooke he didn't want Hope allowing he was condemning her. Brooke has enterprises about her son, but they talk about effects and she thinks she got through to her. Ridge thinks that's one of her bents. "That's why I hired you." Brooke teases that he wanted to see her more frequently. They kiss and spoon. In the main office, Hope aesthetics shaken. She holds her head and flashes to Thomas telling her he's a one-woman man. A knock comes at the door. Hope calls, "Come in." The door opens and it's Douglas. He runs to her and they embrace. She also sees Thomas in the doorway. He says, "Hello, Hope." Hope shafts.